Okay, girls, this is the first video for you guys on your homework. You should be in your Thursday class listening to this, I hope. And please bear with me, I'm not going to do any editing on this, so there could be mistakes and errors in it as I'm working through. Obviously, I'll tell you if it's so if I say something that's a mistake, it's going to be just unedited, uncut. So just bear with me for that. So the aim of this lesson for 40 minutes is to run through the homework that I gave you on nested loops and to work through the solutions of those. I'm going to give you little tasks to do during it as well. So if you haven't got a laptop open in front of you now, just get one open. I think you're in computer room 1, so you should be able to do that. So get one open, get Tani open in front of you as well. I think it's worth when I'm going through these as well to perhaps type in the code and just run it because I'm going to get you to make some changes. So the very first thing then was to do the inverted triangle of stars. What you were asked to do was to write a Python program using nested loops to print an inverted triangle of stars. So the first row should have 5 stars and each new row should have one less star than the row before. There should be no extra spaces between the stars, and this is what it should look like when it comes out. This is where I always start. I said this in class. I always look at what I'm expected to be getting out. The outer loop will control the rows and the inner loop will control the columns or the stars for each row in this case. So well, let's take a look at the code solution, which I'm going to walk through step by step now. Okay, so this is the code solution. I'm going to walk through it step by step. You'll notice I have comments along the side as well. What I would do if I was you now is I would pause for a second. So pause me, pause the video, and just type this in. You don't have to worry about the comments. The comments are there for your understanding, but type in this little piece of code and run it. And when you come back then, what I'm going to do is just play it. So just pause the video and type in that code. Okay, so you should be back now. And I am going to run this. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I always just run just to see what's happening. Oh, so what we have here actually is not an inverted stars. It's from the smallest to the largest. Let's talk through that, okay? And then what I'll get you to do is to edit it, and then I'll show you the solution to that. So what I'm saying is I've 2 for loops, one inside the other. It's nested because this is stepped in. And the code that's executed is just the code on the very inside of the inner for loop. This contains this handles the rows and this handles the columns. And this star is just printing a star to screen, and this is just making sure there's a new line at the end of each row. So this bit should be okay. So for row in range 1 to 6. So what we're saying is we want to loop. Row is a new variable. It will start at 1, and we want to loop 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Want to do it that way. So we then within that we want to look at the columns, and for each column or star, I have just used star here. You can use any variable name. If column is more comfortable for you, you can use column in the range row, and row is the value that's stored in here. So this has a value of 1. 1 is between 1 and 6, so it comes in here. Star is assigned a value of row, which is 1, and it will do that 1 time. That's why we're getting this out here. Then this is complete. It comes back up here. This increments by 1 to 2. 2 is in the range of 1 to 6, so it comes back in here. Star now has a value of 2 because it's the value of row. Row has a value of 2, so it does this 2 times. Print star, come back up. And it does that iteratively for until it gets to the end, which is 5, and that's why we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want you to take this code and edit it so it does it the other way around. Starts with 5 stars at the top and decreases down to 1 star at the bottom. So just pause the video, give yourselves 2 or 3 minutes just to have a go at that. Okay, so hopefully you've played around with that and got the stars appearing the way they appear down here. I've done it in the kind of cheaty way. I don't know if you've seen this before, but what I've done is I've just changed this top line. And what I've done is I've given it a start value, the 5, an end value, the 0, and how to control the loop, and this is -1. So each time it runs through, it minuses 1 from the initial value until it gets to 0. So by adding 3 values into this range, I have great control over what's happening. So it's exactly the same, except we're saying for a row in the range of starting at 5, ending at 0, and decreasing by 1 on each iteration of the loop. For the starting range, print out the row. So when I do that, I did it just there, but I'll do it again. There's the stars printing out. So in other words, the first time the star has a value of the row, which is 5, so prints out 5 stars. So this loops through print once, print 2, print 3, print 4, print 5, then it comes back up. It's decreased by 1 to 4. It comes in here, it has the value of the row, which is now 4. It does that 4 times. It comes back up, it's decreased by 1 to 3, and so on, and it loops through. I have another option here, which we're going to, sorry, which we're going to talk through as well. Okay, so this is the same question done with while loops. You may have answered it with while loops, so I just wanted to run through this. There's more code in this, but it does exactly the same thing, so I'm going to run it there. You can see it does it backwards. So what we have is we start with a variable called row, and we give it an initial value of 5. And we say while row is greater than 0, so for as long as it's greater than 0, set the star value equal to 0. And then while the star is less than the row, print the star, increment the star by 1, print a new line, and decrement the row by 1. Lots going on here. Let me talk through it slowly, okay, again. So while row is less than 0, what that is the row is currently 5 because we've just set it here. That's fine. So 5 is greater than 0, so it will come in here. It will create a value called star. It will set it to 0 because we've got to control. This is the outer loop, and this is the starting value of the outer loop. This is the inner loop, and this is the starting value. So the outer value is starting with 5. The inner value is starting with 0. And then we're saying, because we want to converge on itself, so while the star, which is 0, is less than the row, which is 5, so 0 is less than 5, print the star. So 0 is less than 5, it'll print it 5 times, and increment the star value by 1, so it goes from 0 to 1, print a new line, decrement the row value by 1, so it goes from 5 to 4. We come in here, the row value is 4, that is greater than 0. The star value now has a value of 1, so it skips this, that's an initial starting value. It sets that, my mistake, it sets that to 0. 0 is less than row, but row is 4 now. It prints out 4 stars. It increments the star value by 1. It prints a new row. It decrements the row value by 1, which is to put that down to 4 or 3 this time, and it comes back in. The reason it's doing the adding of 1 here is because this will loop. So this is 0, this is 4. So it's 0, it prints, it goes up by 1, it's 1, 1 is less than 4, it prints, it goes 2, 2 is less than 4, it prints, 3, 3 is less than 4, it prints, 4, 4 is not less than 4, it comes down and prints the new line, decrements the row and comes back. It's doing exactly the same thing. In some ways, this can be more intuitive for people, but if you get the previous one, it's grey there, but if you get the previous one, it's just as good. If you've done something different, completely different, that's absolutely fine. What I want is that the stars are appearing like this. There's more than one way or two ways to solve any of these problems. So please don't worry if your code is different. That's not something to worry about at all. If your code is different and not putting an output like this, that's something to worry about. Send it to me. Do it right now. Pause the video, send it to me, and I'll have a look at it. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay, so the second question then was to use nested loops to print out the times tables. We were going to start with the 2 times tables just from 1 to 10, and then what we're going to do is just change that to 2, 3, 4, 5 times tables. So let's have a look at the code for that. Okay, so we're using a single loop for this because it's straightforward. We could use a nested loop, but we'll use a nested loop for the second part. So this is just for I, that's a variable, which starts at a value of 1, ends at a value of 10. In the range of 1 to 10, we're just going to print out 3. Oh, I have it as 3 there. Sorry, I was playing with it. 2 by 2. So we're going to say print out 2 by I has a value of 1, equal to 2 multiplied by I, and it will loop through. So that'll be 1 the first time, I will be 1, it'll be 2 the second time, 3 the third time, and so on. So when we run it, it goes 2 by 1, 2 by 2, 2 by 3, 2 by 4. And because it's doing actual multiplication here, we're getting our values. That should be really straightforward for you guys. No issues there. Just take a minute, copy in the code, run it, and then change it so that it does 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just change the values. Make sure it's doing what you expect it to do. Fix any syntax errors you might have in it. Syntax errors are things like missing colons, missing commas, things like that. So just make sure you have it working and running. Copy it from here. And we'll do the next bit, which is the nested loop. Okay, so hopefully it got that going. It was straightforward enough. Now we come into the nested part of it. What we are looking to do, let me just go back to the output here because it's always nice to see it. For example, to print out the 2 times tables followed by the 3 times tables followed by the 4 times tables. That's what we're trying to do with our nested loop. So let's have a look at the solution code here. So in this one, I am going from the 2 times tables to the 4 times tables because it goes 1 less than 5. So this is allowing me to do the tables, the outer bit, the full set of 2 times tables, the full set of 3 times tables, and the full set of 4 times tables. So what I'm doing is for a number in that range, 2, 3, and 4, print, and this is literally just giving a header for it. So I'm saying print dash dash dash, that could be anything, table 4 number, so it's 2 times tables dot 2, tables for 2, that's all it's doing. It's taking this number, which is this value here, which starts at 2, next time it'll say 3, next time it'll say 4. Because we're using this number value, it's handy, it automatically increments for us. If we hard coded in table for 2 here, if we put 2 here, then when it got to 3, it would do 2 again. I'll show you that when we're executing it. Then this is the bit that does the bit here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 10 for this case. So it prints out the number, which is the number from up here, and a x for the multiplication by I, which is the inner number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, equal to number by I. Number is the outer one, 2 in the first instance, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's just see how that works. So you can see here, look, it goes 2. So this is the outer loop. This is relating to this here because it starts here. Sorry, start here. Table for 2. See this? And because of the number. And it's doing the 2 times tables because that's the first one. And then this bit here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is handled by this inner loop here, 1 to 10. And then the multiplication is just these values. So whatever's stored in number, whatever's stored in I, is equal to that value stored in number actually multiplied by I. So this is the printout part, and this is the actual maths part here. So let me just play with that for a minute. So if I was to go table for 2, and I was just not to put that in there for a minute, X, and I was to run it, you'll see that because I've hard coded in, it's table for 2, even though that's 3 times tables down here, and table for 2, even though that's 4 times tables. So having this variable as the changing number is useful here. And then the number and the I, it's the same there. I could hard code something in there, but it would mean that things don't change. So by using the loop guards, the values change. So I'm going to talk through that one more time. So I'm going to say for number has an initial value of 2 based on this loop here, and it's in the range of 2, 3, and 4. Print out this piece of code. We'll take that 2 out, which is just says which times tables we're on. And then for each of the times tables, this puts the values of 1 to 10 on it. So starting at 1, going up to 10. And the way we actually print it out is we print the number, which is the tables we're on, multiplied by the I value, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is the actual printout of that value, number X in quotes as a symbol, piece of text, and I, and then equal to as a piece of text, and then this is the actual maths happening here, number multiplied by I. And this just puts a new line at the end of each one. So for example, in any of these, if you're not sure, like some of you asked me the other day, why is there print there? Take it out, see what happens. Ooh, not needed. Sorry, it is. It's the space between the headers. So just put it back in. You can see the space there. It's this space here between each set. That's why I have it there. You can put 2 in, you can play around with it. So what I'd like you to do now is just modify this code. So take a couple of minutes and just modify it. So what I want you to do is I want you to change it so it does the tables from the 2 times tables up to the 12 times tables, like they'd learn in primary school. And I want you to do the range up to 12 because that's what the tables are usually for primary school kids. So I want you to get it to do all of that. So take 2 or 3 minutes, make sure it's working, take this down, run it, and make those modifications.